give me a little one more.
Yeah, and if you could hit the record button on the... We're live.
On the road?
The record button.
The record, yeah. There you go.
Man.
Are we on here? Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Aliens on the Border. So we're trying out our live streaming setup today with ADTV. These are the guys who are doing our whole production for us, and they're super awesome in the start of this episode. If you haven't been able to check it out, go and check that out now.
Yes.
We have. Hey, so if you can hear me and everything, just give me a little thumbs up in the chat. I'm monitoring chat here. We're currently waiting for our guest who will be doing a little reading today. Do you want to do a little audio check on there too?
Yes.
So just kind of bear with us, just because it's the first time that we're streaming using this equipment. But everything is cool. I can see it on here. It looks pretty dope. I hope it sounds good for you guys at home too. Go ahead and share it with your friends, family. Text your ex.
Text your ex and let them know
it sounds kind of muffled.
Is live.
Yeah, somebody said it sounds kind of muffled.
Oh shit. Okay.
Let me see.
Check. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're too close to your mic. You got to do the whole fist thing that I told you.
Yeah, both of us sound like that.
Yeah.
All right. Check.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I'm talking from back here now. See if it changes anything. We are checking out the audio just while we work out the kinks. Thanks for being patient with us. But as soon as we start, you'll hear the little the intro. You'll know it's good.
There you go. Did you hear the difference?
I don't know yet. Okay, so they're just super sensitive?
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about.
Check. How's that sound, guys? How's that sound? Everybody?
Yeah, we got... In any case, so while we get started, we're out here having a nice 2X/Dos Equis hanging out. And I'm pretty excited, man. I know that you were talking about feeling a little iffy about the whole tarot thing earlier today.
Yeah, so I was stating that I did feel kind of concerned about it because I've mentioned this multiple times before, but I have a little bit of death anxiety. Are
you stitious at all or no?
A little stitious, yeah. I'm really worried that one of the tarot cards that's gonna come out is gonna say "Oh, dude, you're dying tomorrow." So that's a big thing for me. Yeah, are we just gonna get into it? All right. Well, here's a little test intro for the theme song. So check it out. Episode 186, Aztec.
Faster than light, spaceship of the future.
Our direction of the President of the United States. Stay in your home.
Is it human or inhuman? Earthly or unearthly?
Born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust, there is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension?
Is this the human race of the future?
Aliens on the border.
All right. So we're checking that out with you. So sorry about the delay, but yeah. So hey, we're expecting our guests to come in here in a few, and when we do, we're gonna be talking tarot.
Not tarot root.
Yeah, not tarot root. Tarot as in. Geez, sorry. Let me know this. Jesus, sorry, my bad.
This is good. It feels
cool.
You know what this reminds me of?
And we were first.
Yeah. So funny story, guys. We were telling you. So, Jason, Andrew, the very first time that we had like video production on the podcast, we were actually at the table outside over there.
Yeah.
And we were messing around with all the settings the same way that we're doing right now. So it's like such a fucking surreal experience to see it like taken to the fucking super next level.
Very reminiscent of us fucking around with the Mevo back then. So, but huh? Yeah. So give us your money, I guess.
Oh yeah, dude. So
we're trying to just start with the whole production and everything, and this is not free. We're ADTV is gracious enough to partner with us, and we're in it together now. So definitely check out our Linktree, check out our Patreon, check out all that new content that's coming out, and if you're interested in sponsoring the cast, we're interested in taking your money. So let's do it. There's a lot of cool shit that's going on behind the scenes for the podcast. I'm pretty excited to start talking about it pretty soon. Not really ready to reveal a lot of it right now, but when you see it, you'll see it.
So this fucking Friday, we have 4DF Modern Warfare, right? We're going to get into a whole lot of craziness. We currently, who do we have on the panel?
It's just you, me, and Franny, isn't it? I don't even know if Franny
Soros Rex. Franny, you've been drafted.
You've been drafted, Francisco Flores, a.k.a. Frankie Flowers.
And as you know, that's going to happen here at Cultura Beer Garden at 9 p.m. Friday fucking evening.
Yeah, that's rain, sleet, snow, whatever. We're doing it.
We're doing it live, and we're doing it now. Well, we're not doing it right now, but we're doing it on Friday. So tell me, what makes you feel like you're gonna be told your death?
Well, so because I just see it like every time. Okay, so you have to understand my exposure to this stuff, right? Any sort of tarot, any sort of mysticism, whatever, right? Crystal ball, looking into the future. My exposure to this is really based on like popular media, and a lot of it is like, oh, hey, you remember that time that you looked into to see what your future's like, and then you found out you're gonna die like tomorrow. I have a huge anxiety about that, right? Like, so my worry, and so much so that actually I didn't agree to do any sort of like tarot stuff, even though my girlfriend is like really into it. She had asked me initially, hey, can let me read your cards, and I told her no, I just don't. I'm not really comfortable with it. So now, we're in it, and when Liz arrives, we'll go ahead and start kind of trying it out a little bit. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what it's like. I'm a little scared to see what it's like, actually.
I love how you're like, I don't want to do it in the comfort and privacy of my home with my girlfriend, so let's do it on a live stream.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
it's just millions of people.
So then I have to preface this too. I did become a little more comfortable with the idea once it's kind of like talked about it with my girlfriend, and I saw how she was getting into like the whole concept of reading and or the whole practice of reading. And so in doing that, once we had that discussion, I was like, all right, I'll try it, right? But I'll try it on the podcast. It was just kind of like my first tattoo, dude. I wanted to do my first tattoo on the podcast. I didn't, but I wanted to get tattooed live. I think that would be fucking hilarious.
I think it would be too, and we should just do that. Fucking Patreon only.
Yeah,
Patreon.com/AOTBcast currently.
Hey, you know what? If we fill out, I'll make a pledge right now. If we fill out all title sponsors, I'll get a small tattoo on like my butt cheek.
Of what? Of like dealer's choice or what?
Dealer's choice.
Fuck it, I'm
no
down.
Dicks.
Nah. You can't say no nothing, bro. It has to be dealer's choice, man.
It doesn't have to be. I can say like, hey, no dicks. That's very permanent on my body.
What does the public want, though?
I mean, I'll put a little UFO on my butt cheek. I don't care. I'll do that.
I'll do that like for free, man.
All right, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. We'll talk about it later. I won't commit to it right now. Then
one of the stigma I think of like tarot readings and all that type of shit, I think comes from like a deep-seated Catholicism in like the Mexican culture. I think. Do you think that's like a fair observation?
A good part of the people who had ever like heard interact with that stuff. Like I remember my mom talking to me a little bit about it, and it was like, oh no, that's brujeria, son cosas de diablo, right? and so I never like considered trying any of it out. So it's yeah, maybe it does have a lot to do with that, like the Catholicism. I was raised Catholic, baptized.
What's your baptized name? Do you have one of those or no?
I don't know what that means. What do you mean baptized name? Like,
I think like only the Irish
street name?
Catholics do that. Or like,
Scam? Huh?
yeah.
What?
I think like only the Irish do that. Maybe I don't know. Because I know that is a thing.
Josh, get away from the mic.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. It's
Sorry.
probably- I think all of them are like super sensitive. Thank you for that, by the way, people who are patient with the.
Shout out to
shout
TJ
out.
Mo that's like tuned in, and That's Just My Opinion podcast. And shout out to Digital Jeff.
Digital Jeffrey. Right. So I don't think that there's what were we talking about?
Reasons as to why there's like a negative stigma surrounding.
Definitely.
Not even just tarot, I would say, but just things like cleansing your energy,
Lighting
that
a
type of
candle.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That's always been like the discussion about it. I think it was pretty fucking weird for me to just kind of get into that conversation. I think, but I don't know, man. I am a little concerned with what it's gonna come out with. I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm optimistic, but like cautiously.
I had my first tarot reading actually when I was going through a whole lot of shit, and surprisingly enough, it was actually rather what's the right word I'm looking for? It almost just kind of felt like enlightening, but an echo chamber to a certain extent.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Because the things that I was trying to either like put out to the universe or whatever you want to call it, or the mindset that I was trying to goad, or I don't know if goad is the right word, but put myself into, I had my reading with Liz and stuff, and it was reflected in what the heart of the cards revealed to me. You know what I mean?
The heart of the cards.
The heart of the cards, dude. Shout out to Yugi. That's the boy. But in any case, we have our guest joining us, Miss Liz Pecina, a.k.a. Aztec Queen.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine, no worries. Please follow her on Instagram at Aztec Queen Reads. Right?
Yes.
Yes?
Hey, so
What's
we're
up,
gonna
Liz?
ask you like put the mic a little away from you.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's gonna be a little
bit
weird.
sensitive, so.
Yeah. So
Okay, cool.
y'all in the chat, let us know if it sounds good. But hey, welcome.
Thank
to
you.
the podcast. Welcome. I've actually I feel like I've met you a few times, but I don't know if I ever officially met you. So hi.
Hello.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
I'm Liz. I mean, I am around the community a lot, doing good stuff. But yeah, I feel like I known Josh for a while. I also went to United South. I feel like we have
Oh
that.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. We all have that in common.
Yeah, I was in the Magnet too.
Panthers.
So,
Let's
So
go.
that's where the familiarity probably stems from. And what we were talking about right now, just before you came in here, and then maybe you can kind of help us like elaborate on
Okay.
this, is maybe like the negative stigma behind like tarot readings or just, I don't know if New Age spiritualism is like the right term.
This is like the mystic arts or something.
arts?
Yeah,
So it's like
I feel like in the past years, it's still like a mixture of reactions. In the mainstream, is getting very popular and like accepted. Like in TikTok, it's super popular, and Twitter, everywhere. But like, come down to the border, because we're in the border, right?
Yeah.
Our community is very unique, because there's like a mixture of still like very traditional people, and then there's like us, and I feel like people do make, they still have a certain old stigma towards like that,
Yeah, and not even to put anything on
Yeah.
blast or anything, but we've been trying to schedule this episode for a minute, right? COVID got in the way and everything, and we were actually thinking about shooting it at a local business and stuff. And remember when you were like, you know what, we can't do it there. Problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Let's
Right?
talk about that. Yeah, we were going to set this episode up and I don't want to put them on blast, so I'm not going to do that. But we were going to set this episode up at a local business, and we were Damn, dude, you got the cam on me scratching my nose, bro. That's a good close up. Yeah, we were gonna set this up at a local shop, local
I'm like,
business,
Local place, a local
yeah,
place.
no, because ultimately I do respect everybody's views, even if they're wrong. I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah, so we were gonna set it up, and I think we had said. We texted them and we were like, "Hey guys, like we're gonna set a podcast up. Could we maybe do it at your place of business?" And then they were like, "Yeah, cool. Like come on over. Hey, but just out of curiosity, what are we gonna do, right?" And I think you had mentioned to us that they had told you while before where you wanted to do like a live reading there, and they were just like, "No, like we don't do that here. We don't believe in that stuff here, and don't want anything." Business having to do with that, which is interesting. That's what we were discussing right now, just kind of like the whole concept of like, how does like I guess like Mexican culture really like or Hispanic culture really like lean into there? Does that have anything to do with like any sort of like Catholicism or like general like misinformation or fear?
Yes. My mom, she's actually a Catechist, so I grew up very religious. 2-3 times a week I was at church. I know the Bible well enough to, I know how I should behave, but I don't. But yeah, there is. I feel like just because even in the Bible it will tell you like God is very jealous. God like doesn't want you to be exploring other gods or trying to pray. Even like tattooing, like whenever you get tattoos, that's even seen as bad because it's considering you offering your body to Satan. I don't know.
I don't know, like what the fuck the actual.
All I know is mom was like, when I'm dead, and I'm like, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's funny though, and this is something that we've kind of touched on like other episodes, but I feel that like the ancestral tree of people that came before us, for the most part, will probably lead back to either some indigenous Mexican tribes or whatever they were called previous to that, right? And then like the Spaniards, but both of those cultures, and I think more so like the indigenous side of it, I feel had like a deep connection to spirituality, and it manifested itself in the form of like polytheism. You had like if you look at the Aztec like pantheon of gods with like Quetzalcoatl, and that's the only one I can name. But I feel like when the Spaniards came and conquered, that kind of left like a vacuum to fill. Like what now that we don't have all these, like we're gonna pray to the sun god and the god of the rain and all this other thing is kind of like, what do we do now? And then they were like, here is your God, Jesus fucking Christ, right? And it. In our people, in our ancestry, I feel like it's just something that's so deep rooted, the inclination for the spiritual experience, that oddly enough, Catholicism kind of like took like a super deep root into.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't forcing to us. It wasn't like we didn't choose that. But no, yeah, I agree. And I mean, but even then, we always like go back to our roots because like. For example, La Virgen de Guadalupe, even though it's considered, Virgin Mary,
remix that bitch up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she's gonna have a brown skin like us, and she, like. So I feel like we always go back to our like roots, and that's why I chose like my name, like. Aztec Queen. Oh, well, it was given during like a drunk night at the party bus. But like when I thought about it, I remember growing up feeling like ashamed almost of like my indigenous like yeah, for sure. Like I didn't like my brown skin because like my siblings, both of them, they're like very light skin. Like one of them has green eyes, dude. And I'm just like,
Did you just do that?
And I'm like, ¿qué pasó? Like, but yeah, so it's like I feel like growing up, I was like, and even in Mexico, the culture is like towards indigenous people. They're not seen as like wise or as like people with like knowledge, they usually seen as less than or like, you know, uncultured. And no, it's like they have like it's a different kind of knowledge. And yeah, it's like a connection to like Mother Earth.
Can we push the mic back just a little bit? Like
Sure.
there you go.
I get excited.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. I'm used to like having my mouth all
same.
up on the mic.
Yeah.
But right now we're in
So
sensitive.
one of the things is that since we're trying out this new setup, like apparently the mics get like extra sensitive when we're running it through this system. So just so if we do have to like interrupt, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm usually the fucking
Is that better?
microphone patrol on that shit. You know, I'm always the one that's like, hey, move the mic closer to you. Now it feels weird though to be like, move the mic away from you.
Yeah. It's the opposite. So it's kind of like I want it closer.
Okay, I'll stay here.
So
now-
now adjust. We'll see. I didn't want to lead into this. We were just talking about this before you got here, and maybe we can just kind of jump into the conversation about like tarot reading. My girlfriend is very like interested in it, right? And we had a conversation about it, and she was like, "Can I read your cards?" And I was like, "No." Like, it's not because I don't think that she can do a good job. I know she's like very good at what she does too, but I have like a fear of this specifically, and maybe it was, maybe it was like pushed in because of the like conversation about there's you're not supposed to do that, son cosas del diablo or whatever, but also the conversation about, or not the conversation about, but the whole like I guess notion that if you read something or whatever and it says like, let's say you pull out a card and it's like, oh dude, this says you're gonna die soon, like you be confronted. I'm sure you've heard that before, or maybe not. Maybe I'm the first one. I'm the first one. I'm the first one.
For sure. Everybody has that fear because of media has also put a certain stigma on the tarot, but once you start exploring it and depending like what kind of practice you want to do with it, I do what is called intuitive reading. So it's like focus more on like what's going on with the person at the moment. But there are some people that want to know like the future, and they'll have like a specific like thing that like for the future or like for whatever they might be carrying from the past. So it just depends on like what a specific reading, like what a specific practice. I don't like to do much of the future because I think that nothing is ever truly set in stone.
So it's like subjective, right? Like it would change kind of.
Yeah, because like that's just life, dude. Like, come on, like after 2020, it was like, dude, I am not gonna make 5-year plans. I'm gonna make like a few months plan, do it, and then do something else. And I feel that I got COVID, so ever since I got COVID, and I started kind of implementing that in my life, like little goals, like fast, and I feel like I progressed so much more than like before. So I feel that. You should have like a long-term goal if possible, like maybe like in the long run, but I feel like you should also be open to things changing because that's just life. I was supposed to be a psychologist.
I recall. I mean, the last time that you were on the podcast, you were on with Genesis, and this was like fucking 2019 or 18. I don't know if you recall.
Yeah, I had like
we did
just
the
moved back.
Homegirls
I
episode,
feel like,
right?
Yeah.
And this was like pre where you're at now. Is I can definitely see the difference in the terms of like the type of information that you're talking about and embracing and stuff. And what I kind of want to talk about before we get into like doing any tarot. Did you bring your cards?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay, dope. Okay, we'll get to that in a second, everybody. But what I wanted to talk about is like what kind of led you towards that. So I feel like we've had conversations about it like off air, but I kind of want to share that with everyone. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, I realized that through therapy, I realized that a lot of my anxiety comes from the fact that I'm actually a very sensitive person in general. So I learned to read like the energy. This is me now, right? But back in like 2015, when I was in college, like we moved to like an old house, right? And it was like haunted, and there was like all this like heavy ass energy. Like you can tell some shit went down. I can curse, right? Okay.
Yes, of course. Please.
Some shit went down. And it was spooky because doors will close by themselves. Like, I will be cooking, like, and the door would just, like, close. And I'm like,
Shut the fuck up.
yes, like, by itself. And I would just be like, no, like, I'm high. I don't know. Like,
It's the wind. It's the fucking wind.
Yeah, I was like, it's just an old house, but then you will hear stuff. So I rarely remember my dreams back then, but now like I dream a lot. But like when I dream, is very vivid. So I had this very vivid dream where like I was actually doing tarot cards, like just like in a like sitting down like in the garden, whatever, and it just felt I just felt so at peace with like that. And I always had a calling to it, like desde chiquita, like as soon as like I saw some of tarot cards, I was like, what is that? Like it just always called me, but because of my family,
it was kind of looked like taboo, right?
See, my mom, she used to pray, so I stop. I'm like, I love you.
Like, Mom, this shit is paying my bills now. We ain't stopping anytime soon.
I was like, when I used to live with her, I would tell her, I was like, but you don't complain when I give you money, right? Like when we pay the bills with it. So she's still like, it's super against it. So I guess since I was in college away by myself, and I was going through like a very rough patch. Like, I had like my dad passed away at that time, so I feel like I was just like in a very dark place, and I had this kind of like gave me something. Like I got excited over it, so I went and got tarot cards the day after that dream, and from there I bought this thing called the Beginner's Tarot Deck, and it's like super tiny, super cute. And I started like just kind of like messing with it, and I one point I felt like a connection to it because it gives you like, well, you should do a little ritual with the deck and like touch it, like
one of the things that I had heard about, and this was through conversations about it, that it's very personal too. Like, like your deck is like your deck. Like you have to kind of what's the word? Attune yourself to its energy, right? And because I had this conversation because I was like, can I just gift anyone like a tarot deck about anything, right? Because I was thinking about doing that, and I think my girlfriend was the one who was telling me, I mean, you can, but like for some people, it's like very personal. So you can't really like, you can give them to them. I'm sure they have some sort of ritual to like, attune themselves to it. But sometimes it's like the cards like fight back, like they don't want to be part of. Like,
I agree. One time I was a 5 and below, and I bought a deck that was $5. And I'm a very girly person, so I like pink and like I like very bright colors and like curves. I like round faces, and I have like a very style right over in for my decks. So that deck was like kind of dark and like I don't know, like I would use it and I was just like. And I'm like, am I like shallow? Because it's not pretty, and like I just can't. But it just, I mean, I could read it. It's just like it wasn't there. And then I do have, I have been given a bunch of decks because my friends, thankfully they all support me. I love them. Thank you, friends. They all give me like decks for like my birthday. So I think I have like 16.
Oh shit!
Yes.
And do these have like different like occasions or something that you like use them for?
Like for example, my birthday's in October, so my friend gave me the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck.
Cute.
Whoa.
Yes, and it's super cool because like it really like tarot is supposed to be broken down in like archetypes of like life, like different occasions that you're gonna find yourself at some point or another. So the Nightmare Before Christmas is kind of like a tale of like Jack, like he starts a journey, and in the deck, the first card, which is the Fool, was Jack, because that's the card that you get whenever you're like beginning a journey or like you have this like calling or something presents itself that's like calling you to like have faith and just go through. And like, for example, I got invited to Halloween parties, and I will use that one on kids. And like, honestly, like, kids were so receptive, and they loved it. And like, I remember the party, they tipped me like greatly, and I was like, oh, because like was I do have like a background on psychology. Like, don't think that I'm just like throwing words out there. Like, I have an understanding, not compared to like a psychologist or a therapist, nothing like that. But I have an understanding of the mind, and I feel like, yeah. So I was able to like bring some sort of comfort to these kids through the tarot, and it was crazy because like this little girl got the dead card, and I was like, oh.
No shit. And then her like
But
cat
I've
died or
heard
some
that that's
shit.
like a positive.
Yes,
card.
but like,
Okay.
how do you explain that
explain
to a kid?
That's right.
And then she's like, and I'm like, no, friend, like, no.
That's not what it means. That's not what it looks
I was
like.
you know what this card means? This card means that it's okay for you to change your mind whenever you're ready for something new. Like, you don't have to stick to, like, you know, what's there. So if you don't want to do something, it's like, you know, I was trying to break it down, like, for her not to, like, attach to things, because ultimately the dead card is a card of detachment, you know, letting go things that are dead for new, like, things to come into your life.
Right. Like closing
So-
one door. opening
Yeah, but
another.
like by the time I saw it, it was already there. So I was just kind of like, angels, really? I work with angels when I do readings. But yeah, so you use them according to how you feel. I do have one that is like I like to say my season deck. That is my favorite. I feel like when I do readings with that one, it's just like, and I had it the longest. So I feel like that's why.
Which one did you bring with you tonight?
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
like
curious about.
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why 3 different ones? Did you come expecting something specific, or?
No, just because I feel like in case you guys wanted to ask questions, because I mean each deck that you'll get, the way you read tarot, it's well, intuition, but you help yourself with the imagery and, like, you know, just like whatever's going on the cards and the colors and a bunch of symbolisms. So some decks will portray a card as a different way, and related to the whole meaning, but will like maybe focus on like one specific like aspect of that card.
There's a quick question that says, is there a card that pertains to like actual death?
Well, this is the thing. I feel that yes, because there is some cards that will tell you like, hey, like you need to check your health, you need to like check your company, and I feel like a lot of the times like it would tell you like, hey, you're in danger, and to some, as you know, it won't tell you like, ay, te va a pasar
very
esto.
nervous.
No. Like, I feel like for example, like it would tell you like, hey, like you should check your health or like your mental health, or like you should check something like.
Fuck yeah, dude. So okay, so like, look, here's a thing. We were just having this discussion not too long ago. I like avoid a lot of stuff. Like specifically, also like I'm scared that I'm gonna start a new job. Right, this new job has good benefits, which means that I'll be going to the doctor for the first time in like 4 years. And my concern is I'm gonna go, and they're gonna be like, dude, your whole body is a tumor. You've got
Well, why are you thinking like that?
Well, because I mean that's the thing too, right? Like you're not supposed to like manifest like negative energies or anything like that, right? Like you're not supposed to, you know, if you think negatively, you're gonna manifest something negative, right? So I'm trying not to do that, but like my head just goes that way, you know. My head just like, I don't know. It's just.
Do you want to do a little?
I want to go first. I want to get it out of the way. That's
why.
I want to
You're
do
the
that.
one that's
Okay,
going.
we can
Just,
do
you know,
like
it's all
a like
about
you know just 3 cards, kind of like very quick,
Nah,
or like you wanna
do the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because if we're doing it live. Like I'm doing this for you guys.
If Roger dies, you saw it here first.
No, that's you
I'm
know
kidding.
what?
Okay, so what is supposed to? Well, you wanna focus it on your job, but it might highlight some other stuff.
Oh, that's I don't.
You know,
I'm
so-
not focusing on the job specifically. Like
Okay.
maybe like just I'm not sure if there's like a general option. Or it's just like all aspects.
Can we get the
of life or
bag
whatever.
that you brought? Right, it's in your bag.
But
It's right here. My
Oh,
backpack.
okay.
It's
Alright.
heavy. I have a bunch of stuff.
It's fine. We're men.
Thank you.
Men at work.
I know.
Thank
It's
you,
like
Andrew.
look. This one I just got it a while, and it's like the one I've been working with. That's why I wanted to, because I have a bunch, And I do try to get close to them, to like use them for like a while, and then for specific like things, I'll bring them out. So I have my season one, which I really regret using palo santo and like sage to like clean it, porque it got all like dark. And
Oh,
damaged.
okay, from like the
So
soup
this
or
one I'm
whatever.
like, okay, only special occasions.
Right.
And then I also have this other one, El Tarot del Fuego. Ooh. And let me bring that crystal up. And El Tarot del Fuego is actually very cool because it's very like I like to say very forward. So fire energy is supposed to be like that, like very masculine, very forward, very like head on strong. And I feel like this, like whenever I get cards from this one, it's like like that. So El Tarot del Fuego is a very good good one also. So I can I'm gonna do a reading with the season one, but then we can get like a message from this one. And then this one is called Our Tarot, and it features notable women in history. So I like it because it gives. I will just read like the end of it. So you can use the tarot as like for a reading, whole thing, or you can also do like oracles, and oracles are direct messages. So I'll use this one more as an oracle deck rather than like a reading, but I can still do a reading. It was just, there's a lot on this one because, like, for example, the description is the whole biography of whatever woman's here.
Oh,
But,
okay.
So it's very long. So I'm still working. That's why I'm like, I'm still working on it. So with this one, I could do a message, or we could do it with El Tarot del Fuego. Up to you.
Roger?
What do you think? Like, how are you feeling? Because I'm curious to know. Like, I don't know if maybe that's like invasive or whatever, but I'm curious to know like how you're feeling in terms of like this reading. Like, what do you feel? I need to hear.
Good. I feel good. I try to, whenever I'm gonna do readings, I knew I probably was gonna do a reading. I try to, in the morning, just do a little meditation and just clear up my head. But I feel like the energy here is good. I don't feel anything bad. I do feel like you're a little anxious.
That's for sure.
Oh, well, I could. If nobody at home has caught that, I mean.
I'm gonna pull out my eye. Para las vibes. So I like to have a mirror because mirrors are supposed to. If you have an office or like in your house, you're supposed to have like a mirror facing the door. So.
Ooh, interesting.
Or like in your office, like I have. Sorry.
Oh no! Oh, no.
And so it begins.
It's all the fucking bad
Los
vibes.
fantasmas. That's just me being clumsy.
Okay.
No, that's something that that happens. So we're just gonna do like an intuitive reading and see what comes out for you, Roger. And that's it. So what I am gonna ask you to do is, whenever I'm shuffling, like, so this is to like kind of cleanse the cards instead of like Palo Santo, because it's smoky. Yes, I learned. Plus, like, it's unethical because we're not native to it. I'm trying to stay as as ethic as possible with the readings because it is a matter of ethics. I do have to a certain extent the power to lie to people and like
Influence them, right?
for sure. But that's some karma I don't want. Like I feel like I'm just trying to like help people ultimately if they're open to it. So yeah, just if you're open to it, like when I'm shuffling, if there's a specific thing you want to know, if there's like maybe clarity in some aspect you need, just kind of ask the universe for that.
Out
And then-
loud?
No,
No, like internal.
I mean, if you're
internal,
like
okay.
into that, I'm not gonna judge you. Let me just turn off this. Yeah, like I told.
How's that close-up camera looking?
Okay, so
No, it's not possible. It is. Oh, you got it. Okay.
okay, cool. Let me move this over here.
I had seen on here it just looked a little bright. I'm not sure if that's like a shutter thing. No, we're good. All right.
Okay. And when is your birthday, by the way?
My birthday is July 2nd.
July 2nd.
I'm a Cancer.
Oh,
And my
We'll talk about that in a second.
I'm not sure I'm gonna
Cap
say it.
moon.
Cap rising.
Okay.
Right. I don't know.
And what's your moon? What's your moon?
Leo.
Leo, we need your help,
nice.
Leo.
I love Leo moons.
I think that's what I am. I'm not sure. My
Leo
girlfriend
moons
will,
are awesome.
My girlfriend will correct me in a second if she's watching.
Sure, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, they're doing mine first.
So you
TJ,
have your art card already came out. So focus on the. Okay. Okay. So. Ooh. Oh, okay. Cool. Very interesting reading. Okay. So this is just like on little overall. I like to call it the vibe check.
Vibe check.
The vibe check for Roger. So the first card you got is like kind of what's happening with you right now, and it's the Four of Cups reverse. So the Four of Cups reverse is a card that says that you're struggling to a certain extent releasing something from your past, like maybe your past insecurities are just kind of like creeping in and are not letting you see that like you have a blessing right in front of you.
If I were at the mixer right now, I would
So,
hit the sheesh.
if you look at it, this guy is so focused on like the bottom part, like what he already has, or like he's just so complacent that like he is just refusing to accept like what's here, a blessing that's like being given. So it's a card that says como que look up to the universe, like even though things might seem hard for you at the moment, you might lose a big opportunity if you like you stay stuck on your ways, kind of situation. It does talk about like cups are related to feelings, so I feel like it's just your maybe some insecurities or maybe just past disappointments coming in and like kind of influencing you, but you shouldn't let that stopping you from seeing what's in front of you. What's in front of you is the world, which is something great, dude. Your past influences card is the Eight of Pentacles. So it's a card of hard work, a card of self-mastery. It's a person that's kind of like in the moment, very focused into what they're into. I feel like you've been working, you're being like trying to create like something out of yourself, like your career, or maybe just like your home. So like this is like a reminder that like if you've been working, you've been putting the work, then you deserve it, dude. Like you don't don't double guess or don't question things just because they might seem too good to be true. So for ponder this, you got the world, and this I love this card. I remember the first time I got this card like last year. I was like, thankfully, finally. The world. I'm sorry. It's a card of receiving kind of like everything that you ever kind of wanted, like things just going the way they're supposed to go. The world card has a lot of Taurus and like Leo influence into them, so it's like about like the home, about like your passions, about your career. So I feel like it's a card that says there's some blessings coming into you. The world is also an angel, so it's like, hey, like don't be questioning the blessings, accept them, take advantage of them, because like ultimately everything's temporary. Like right now you could be in a good place, and that good place can build you up for a moment where like maybe you're not gonna be all the way up, but you're built up, you have a strong foundation, you're good. So enjoy what you have and enjoy the blessings that might have come. And then you have the Hermit, and this is the Virgo card. The Hermit is a card of like
my girlfriend's favorite card.
The Hermit. Yeah, my mom is a Virgo. I have a lot of experience with Virgos. I love / tolerate them a lot. She's a Virgo.
Seal's a Virgo?
I have like my friend Kaitan. Yeah, she's a Virgo. She's like the most hardworking person, like yet wild person I know somehow. And I'm like, how do you do that? Because I want to be like that. Because they get shit done ultimately. Virgos are very something I like to take about Virgos is the fact that they're fucking tercos. And perseverance is so big. Like when you stick to like your goals, when you like keep putting, work into things, shit happens. And I admire that Virgos have that quality of them, that like they'll make shit happen. And I'll tell you, because my mom is a Virgo, and I would just be like, how, like what? And in legal ways. Like,
Allegedly.
Yeah, like, sorry. No, my mom she's a Catholic. She's a good person. Anyway, so the Hermit is also, Virgo energy. So it does says, soul searching, retreating home. Virgos do tend to be kind of like loners. But not necessarily that they don't like people. They do need a lot of time to themselves to recharge and kind of like touch base. The Hermit card is a card that says, when like everything in the world is fucking chaos, like the best thing you can do is like go inward and like try to protect like whatever's going on. So if you can control situations, if you can like, deal, like come back to yourself, come back to like your whatever's like, is moving you, your root, and from there gain strength. I mean, you say your girlfriend's a Virgo, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
we have the same.
There she is. She's gonna like this. She knows what's happening here. I need to say it.
We have the same rising and same moon. I think we're both have rising.
Right now, we're going to get into all of that.
Oh, yeah. I'm
so
sure.
we can kind of explore those
concepts. Also,
well.
here's a funny story, just to circle back a little bit. Not long ago, I run this comedy thing here at Cultura, right? Mm-hmm. And what we do is we talk to, or we get other artists to design our flyers for us, right? Like, they'll donate art pieces or highlight their art pieces, whatever it is that they want to do. We give them complete control over that. And we had on Crad Cakes, which was Victoria Craddock, who has a little shop that she sells shirts, and the shirts are like little designs based on.
Oh like, yeah, I seen them, cards. Right? Like very minimalistic.
Yeah,
like,
and I bought one that just says the Hermit on it. So it's funny.
So yeah. I mean, like I said, the Virgo, the Hermit energy is very empowering. And it's just like a reminder, like you have like that's your home. That could be your girlfriend, could be your home, could be you too. Like within you, there's like light, there's like knowledge and like enlightenment. So like go back there whenever you feel like maybe you can't deal. And then I like to always do the last card as a message from the ancestors. And you have the Knight of Cups. The Nine of Cups is knights are supposed to be messengers. In this case, it's like good love, messengers of like when girls get this, I'm like the DMs. They're gonna get hit the DMs. It's a card that says like love coming at you, like loving energy, like abundance, feeling good. It is a card that also says give yourself some self-love. Try to like just nurture yourself, whatever thing that is calling that you feel like needs some attention within yourself, then like give it to you. Give that attention and like, just keep moving with that direction. The Knight of Cups, I like to also, since it's a message from your ancestors, I feel like they're also like, if you have ancestors, people that have passed recently or like, it's always a card that says como que we're sending you love from above. We're like sending you blessings. Like we're here for you. So, take advantage of it. So and that's your vibe check.
That wasn't bad at all.
No, dude, I'm telling you.
I was a little concerned for nothing, honestly. Not for nothing, but that was a very sobering read, I think.
Do you understand what I was saying now? Kind of.
No. What were you saying?
Where it's like an outer reflection of like your inner dialogue, almost.
I mean, it's kind of it's kind of, how do I say it? It's very on the nose. I'll give you that.
Exactly.
I'm not to say that I'm a skeptic or anything like that.
Septic.
Or that I think it's like not true or anything like that. I do feel like my conversation with my girlfriend before this was about how she was like, yeah, don't worry, but I was like, dude, she was riling me up because she was like, and not on purpose, but she says, she's like, what are you gonna do if you get something bad? I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Like I just but it's because like I don't know how to like react to that. So it was more just like out of a place of fear. Like I was just like,
you feel like you would have believed it more if you would have said like you're gonna fucking fail, like you suck, like.
No, I like that because I do feel like it's all very like on the nose. I think there's a lot of like. I talked about this on the solo episode that I had like a few weeks back, but one of the things that we had was about I've been looking inward a lot, right? Actually, I have my first therapy session tomorrow.
That is great, dude. That is badass.
But I've been, there's a couple of things that I feel like I get told a lot, like through whether it's reflection or whether it's something like outward that external that's kind of letting me know, hey, you're doing wrong, or hey, like, you could do better on this, and like my girlfriend and I just had a conversation about this before, and I can't wait to get home for her to be like, fucking told you so, but,
it's called accountability.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are things that I think I need to do better as far as like being accountable for and stuff. And when you talk about holding on to like past traumas and stuff, like when you're talking about the what was the name of that card?
It's
again?
the Four of Cups.
Four of Cups reversed, right?
Yeah, and let me tell you, numerology does have to do a little bit on with the tarot. All the fours like represent some sort of discontentment or like a resistance to like your situation. So yeah, like that one, like all the fours hold that energy. Like,
so I think a big part of like my looking inward journey has also been like coming to terms with a lot of stuff that happened last year at around this time, and it was rough. I mean, it was rough. So
trauma. Like,
I mean, like, so it's not so much that I feel like it's weighing on me in the sense where it's like, oh, like I'm like I feel like, oh, like I'm holding on to this. It's more like how to peacefully let it go, because there's like a lot of stuff that I feel that kind of does affect my overall like demeanor or just outlook on things. So yeah, that's a sobering read, and I thank you for that. That was really
thank you.
That was nice.
Thank you. I enjoyed it too. I felt the energy. Like I said, I felt that it was a little bit of anxiety, but like coming from you. But overall, your energy is not like heavy or anything. And yeah, like now that you said that you're about to start therapy, like my therapist was supposed to let me do a reading for him, but he never did. Anyways, but that's something that like I feel that I struggle with too, like kind of like peacefully releasing things from my past. And like I feel like after going to therapy, like it was just like night and day in the way I saw things, my environment, my perspective. I went for a year and 4 months, so yeah, it was like honestly life changing. So I feel like it really helped me be more present and not so preoccupied with like past things.
That's good, because I feel like I need that. My head's just been full of like, I don't know. There's a lot of like past anxieties around. So I say the whole thing about like the conflict with my job. Like, dude, there was a time, and I don't really talk about it on the podcast all that much, but there was a time where like being jobless was fucking hard. I had a job that I had for about 4 years, and all of a sudden the contract expired, and they were just like, bye. A similar thing happened with my most recent job. So I found this job. I was actually laying down and like talking to my girlfriend and telling her, like, dude, I'm like under so much fucking stress, because all I can think about like is if I go jobless, if I go another month without a job or something like that, which is it only just started yesterday was my last day on the other job, right? So if I go a month without a job, like I don't want to be back at where I was that last time, because it was like terrible for my mental health, terrible for a lot of like my interpersonal relationships too, and it was just like, oh geez. But as I was talking about it, like as I was telling her, I was just like, I just don't know what I'm gonna fucking do, and like I laid down and I put my head on the pillow, and then I like my phone just like zzz, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Another weird thing in terms of like synchronicities, I for the first time, I don't ever fucking do this, I put the ringer on my phone, just cuz.
The ringer?
The ringer, like, so I could hear it.
Oh, okay,
I always just have it on vibrate, like never, or do not disturb, like never anything else. So I put my head down, and then my phone starts ringing, and I'm like, oh, hey, so I get it, answer it, and it's the school district calling me to tell me, hey, you got a job with us. So I was like, no shit.
You're hired.
So, there was a little bit of like, weighing to do on the options that I had at that point. But I decided I'm just gonna fucking full send it, dude. I'm gonna go with that job. So,
Full send.
and you know, I think the other thing that was just like the first things that were popping in my head. I won't spill all of them because I do think that some of it has to be like a little like personal for some stuff. But
Yeah.
like definitely the talk about like labor, like having to like see your like this, dude. An example, like seeing the difference in like production, having a team, and like really working towards like a very like similar goal. There's been stuff that we've been doing for fucking 5 years.
No, let's relax. It's been 3. Going to 4.
It was what, like 4 years?
2019?
Huh?
2018, 2019?
Yeah, I want to say it was around that time where like Josh and I were just kind of like, hey, well, we have this idea. Let's see if we can see it through. And then one thing after another. And then now we're like seated here. And we were just talking about it when we first started the stream. I was just like, geez, what a weird feeling. So
I remember I went to record your old plays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, like huge difference.
yeah,
See.
so it's very sobering. And yeah, so I won't take up any more of the time. I do want to, is there another read that you were going to do? with
Oh,
these,
okay.
or-
Yeah, we can do like a message from the
Cool, and I just
Chariot
want to
del
move over to
Fuego.
Josh already, so.
And then you want a reading too?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Hell yeah. What do you mean, do you want?
You're like, no, you, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
so-
dude, it was just for you today, man.
Ooh, okay. So you got the Two of Pentacles. Usually the Two of Pentacles, and on this deck, it's represented as like a juggler.
Okay.
Yeah, you can touch it.
Okay, why not?
Yeah, I cleanse my cards. And I really like the imagery on this deck. It's done by this Spanish illustrator. And like the Two of Pentacles, like I said, in this deck is usually represented as like a juggler, like somebody who's kind of like struggling to find like what's it called, like to being stable, like struggling to kind of like keep balance. So this is a card that says como que you should like try to settle down, ground yourself a little bit more, try to like focus on like what's tangible, aka the bag, money, and like try to like find more security, because being like not like being juggling things around, like having being unstable, it's like tiring in the long run, like you were saying. So I feel like for right now the message is, if you have like a stability, stick to it, try to like nurture it, try to like focus on creating like a strong foundation for yourself. That's what I get from this card right here. So
Yeah, I think that just goes back to the job thing. Mm-hmm. I still have a lot of internal struggles about it, because I think maybe like the earning potential on there
like
isn't
no
all
te
that
chifles.
much. Yeah, I think maybe the earning potential on there isn't all that much, but then I think about the stability of it, and I'm like, yeah, it's been a while since I've been like working on contracts for like 6 years at this point. So to be a not contracted worker, that I think is going to be a big difference for me. So, but yeah, no, definitely. Shall we move on to Josh?
Yeah.
To Joshy?
Okay, let's do it.
Well, hey, thank you. I want to thank you for that reading.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Make sure you follow Liz on Aztec Queen
Reads.
on Instagram.
Yes.
Twitter, Saucy Liz, right?
Yeah, I post a lot of dumb stuff on Twitter.
It's fun stuff.
My in-laws follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. So I'm like, damn it, I cannot be putting dumb stuff.
I got to resort to Twitter.
So I was like, I saw this tweet once that says, Twitter is the cigarette break of social media. And I'm like, yes, go talk all this shit on Twitter. So, yeah, sorry. I'm not very spiritual there. So from the last time I gave you a reading, it's been a minute, right?
Yeah, that was like back in November, I want to say.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Let's see what the heart of the cards reveals this time.
Yeah. I saw another tweet that says, all the tarot hoes like Yu-Gi-Oh as kids. I'm like, yes, that was my the dark magician.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Andale, sí. I was like, yeah, that was me. Like, no. Okay, so Josh, and you're a Gemini, right?
Yes, I am. I am a Gemini, and baby, if you're watching, just comment what else is the rest of the stuff, because I forgot already. I know there's some sort of Taurus on
You don't
there.
have it in. Oh, okay. And then it's weird because that's something I have noticed that like when sometimes I do reading for people, the same cards, like people that are together, the same cards might come out because the energy, you usually get influenced by the people who's around you, so the energy, is there. So you can find some, encouragement with this guy.
Let me ask you, like, do cards just fly out like that normally? Is that a way of it saying, like, oh, it has to be here, or?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that's the way I take it. Like, if a card flies out, but like I said, there's some people that have like certain readings like that target different like career readings and like the cards. Each card mean like something specific. Oh, love readings, couples readings, which I don't like to do. I'm like, bro, why are we asking? Like, you already know this.
TJMO, aka Marlene, is saying Taurus Moon, Taurus Venus,
Gemini Sun.
Oh my God.
That's my
What
favorite.
does that mean?
You're so stubborn.
He's an asshole, right? Is that what that says?
Pues Taurus energy, like think of un toro. You know what I mean? Like how do Taurus, like los toros, how do they get all like según agitated and like they get pissed?
Red is my favorite color. You know what I mean? I'm not
Cancer
even playing.
rising.
Oh, you're a Cancer rising.
That's according to.
You're a sensitive person.
She said I forgot, no?
No.
Ron. Oh. According to Jess.
According to Jess.
What's up, Jess?
Okay, cool.
What's good, Ron? Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far.
We're ready for Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's get in here.
So the first card Josh got is a Hermit, but he got a reverse. So Josh needs to actually put himself out there a little bit more. It's a card that says you might be gatekeeping to a certain extent. You might be like not opening yourself or not sharing your true potential, or like maybe not very confident to share it. So you're just kind of like keeping it inward. So this is a card that says como que no tengas miedo. I'm sorry, I Spanish is my first
Dude,
language.
please mix it in, mix it up.
Yes, we'll post some, a translation. Anyway, so, yeah, so there's a card that says como que you need to maybe right now go show yourself more. Like, whatever you might be carrying, if you want to speak, if you want to, like, highlight something, this is, like, a card at the moment now. So try not to stay too much inwards. Try to be a little bit more...
Extroverted?
yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like maybe right now it's just like a lack of confidence. So it's just you be a little more confident with yourself and like what you have to like express or like I don't know say if you feel that maybe you might be spending too much time alone, you might feel a little lonely. So reach out to people. Like the Hermit reverse, it's an energy of like kind of like choosing to be by yourself or like choosing not to like reach out or choosing like. And it's good to charge up, but sometimes an outside perspective can really help, you know. Oh, so the first card, what's happening with you right now?
Okay.
And then your past influences is the Four of Pentacles. So going back to like the fours, they usually carry that like discontent. Like there's like discontentment about them always. So for example, the Four of Cups is a card of financial stability. It is a card that talks about placing too much value, like too much importance on your monetary gain, where it affects your self-worth. So I feel like maybe right now you need to work a little more on nourishing your self-worth and like believing on like what you're capable of, like just kind of like straining your self-esteem. And the way you're gonna do that is through like creative adventure. So I feel like for you, that's where you kind of like get your confidence from like expressing yourself and like doing the things that like call you. So the Four of Cups is saying like you'll try to pursue more of those things and don't place too much value on the monetary aspect of things, because I mean, it'll provide. The universe provides, dude. Like, I don't know how, but it has always provided for me some way or another. Like, in situations where I'm like, I'm gonna die, and right here.
Did you die though?
I did not.
Exactly.
I have not died yet. And then under this is the moon. So the moon is, this is a card. It's a tricky card. It talks about the subconscious. It talks about like coming, like maybe también having like some sort of new enlightenment towards the situation, having a new perspective. Maybe some like you might be having like dreams that are kind of like wild. The moon is a card that talks about listening to like your intuition as well. Kind of like it is a card that says, you know, like listen to your subconscious. So yeah, like maybe practice some like meditations before going to bed. Maybe like I feel like they're like going back to the Hermit reverse. I feel like there's something within you that like can be so powerful and can like push you forward, but you still need to really work on your insecurities, like not letting como que past things come and, you know, disturb you from your vision. And then so the moon card says that whenever the moon card comes out, it also says that secrets might pop out. You know, like you might find out things that you didn't know. So it just keeps, it just kind of, it's a reminder, you know, like be open and be alert. I always, whenever the moon card, because it carries such a heavy energy, I like to tell people, you know, do some, you know, protect yourself. Like pray, like try to like meditate, like really like pay attention to what's going on in your mind. And then that's what's happening right now. And then for your future, you got the Chariot, which is a Cancer card. And this is a card of like movement and like just going forward in life. So this is a card, it's a young person, like a young entrepreneur or whatever. And like they're embarking on this journey. And so the Chariot is like a car, so it means like in the upcoming future, things are gonna like get super quick. So you have to be ready to kind of like ride along. So it's a card that says ultimately anything that you put will into will like come to you, you will get to. I like to say a lot that when you can manifest through movement. I read that, and like, so when I work out, I'm always like, I want this, or like
manifest this body.
Yeah, I manifested my job. I was like literally every day for a week. I was like, I'm gonna get this job. I'm gonna, like, and I would jump, like I would just like put a lot of my energy into that, and then I got it, and I was just like, thank God. But I feel like by moving, it means like doing the things that you're supposed to do, like be accountable, like put in the work, because like not decir, like I feel like a lot of the time people ask for things and want things, and then once they get them, like they're not ready for it. They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to maintain things. They don't want to like keep pushing. So it's a reminder, like you're gonna have to push. You're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to like stick to what you say you're gonna do. It is a card of balance. So there's like feminine and masculine energy. So I feel like it's asking for you to try to keep that in your life as well. You know, if you need help to get somewhere, ask for that help. If you feel like you can, work on things, then do them. Don't second guess yourself. Because feminine energy is like receptive. So you're like, open yourself to feel, to be helped, to have somebody, give you a second opinion. And masculine energy is more like, I'm gonna get shit done. I'm gonna like keep working. So I feel like for everything in life, you need that balance. So don't be scared to ask for help.
Okay, got it.
And then the message from your ancestors, you have the Nine of Swords, or the Nine of Swords reverse. So the Nine of Swords is a card, as you can see, of a person that is suffering. And I feel like even though it looks very dark in the back, it's a card of, I like things as a card of hope, because in this card, this person, swords, by the way, are represented as thoughts. So the mind, anything. So this is like a person that, their thoughts are not letting them sleep. They're like, there's stress, there's trauma, there's something going on with this person that like they're not able to like rest peacefully. So because of that, they have to do some changes. They have to do some releasing. So when you get this card, it's like the way of the universe telling you, like, you already know what to do. Like, you kind of have guidance already. Like, don't let yourself stop you from getting there. This is a card that says como que things are about to get better, believe it or not. Like the night is almost over for you. So yeah.
It's really hard to get that from those kind of cards. Just like the imagery is so dreary.
Like you're getting stabbed on bed. In the middle of the night, your sleep paralysis demon is stabbing.
I feel like if you were to read those cards and like literal, like if I were to read them based on whatever the imagery is, it'd be like, oh, dude, you're fucked. But again, that's
where
just
your intuition comes in, and it's like, okay, like from everything you get something, and you come up with something. Very specific for Josh though. Like I don't know what really, like I don't really remember people's readings. I don't hold true energies, but like when I'm doing it, I'm like yes, and then after I'm like,
Josh, is there anything you think that you're willing? Obviously, that you're willing to reveal. Don't move that closer to your mouth. You did it.
But I want it.
Is there anything that you're willing to like, kind of like, like I was saying,
never
like, oh, hey,
reveals
this is
his
totally
hand.
spot on with it, or is it not?
that's bullshit.
Yeah, man, I feel it for sure. Like it's definitely. It goes back to like one of the things that you touched on, which is what we were talking about at the very beginning of the podcast, where we were talking about like this is such a huge synchronous moment that we're experiencing right now. Because like, if we turn back the wheels of time to maybe like 2.5 years ago, more or less, we were at the table right outside over there doing this exact same thing with
not
a
even
one
just
camera
that,
setup.
but literally like 6 months ago, we were non-existent.
Yeah, we went
you guys stopped recording, for a minute?
100%. Yeah, we were off of
7
it.
months. We were just. It
'cause
wasn't even a hiatus. It was buried.
Yeah.
Because I remember I reached
we left
out
the
to
shovel
you.
on top of the fucking burial site.
What were you saying?
I remember I reached out to Josh because the reason why I started reading for people is because I had COVID and I didn't work for like 8 weeks, which by the way, I loved, but not so much because like I wasn't getting paid. I only got paid for like 2 weeks. So I was like, how the fuck do I have money? And like I said, I live with my mom, so I was like, OnlyFans out of the question. Like I can't be doing that, not here. I always say that like I no shame on that, dude. Like I love that. I love that people.
If you're out here,
I'm like, you get money from it because some people don't get money from it. I'm like, girl.
Drop your OnlyFans in the comments. Fuck
yeah,
it.
dude. OnlyFans.com/AOTBcast.
Yes.
No, you don't have an AOTB.
Well, the company itself is kind of problematic, but
absolutely.
But sex work, I think that I respect that.
It's the oldest profession on the face of the planet. And Liz, we have a special request, and maybe we could do this like after we wrap. One of our producers actually would want to go for a read.
Okay.
Oh no
That'd be
shit!
cool
Is
with
that
you?
what happened?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
What
Okay,
do you guys
badass.
request to read?
That's
I
I
don't know
don't
what's
do
going on. There's a
like by
yes, there's a
force.
no.
No, you gotta want.
By force. I think Andrew wants it.
Whatever.
Andrew, you want to-
Nah, no.
Andrew, do you want to take a seat?
Why are you
and
guys
get
crying?
Let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we mentioned with regards to like astrology, right? So like, let's.
Are you satisfied with your reading though?
Oh, you still gotta do the oracle one.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
okay.
That's true. I'm sorry. I was not trying to deflect. My
Okay,
apologies.
cool. You're like, that's it. I don't want to know more. Okay, so you got two. So you got the Queen of Swords, and you got the Ace of Swords. Okay, so air sign energy queen. So this is a card. Yeah. So the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Swords, I'm sorry, is usually known as like a bitch. She's like because she's very outspoken, very cut through. It's not that she does like she rules with reason and not so much with emotion. So I feel this is a card that's kind of like letting you know that, hey, focus, lead with that. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. If you do have like a queen of like an air sign queen, isn't your girlfriend like a?
Yeah, we're both Geminis.
I see. Pues ahí está, you guys. I feel like there's you guys' connection because you also got the Ace of Swords is very mental. So I feel like both of you should focus on like that. Nourishing that aspect. You also have the Ace of Swords, which is a card of like a new como que like a new idea, or like a new, also going back to enlightenment, like something showing up like mentally, like you having a new vision. And the Ace of Swords is like, you know, take advantage of whatever it's going on in your mind right now that you might want to pursue. Aces are blessings, and all blessings require some work, and so it's just kind of letting you know, sometimes you, like, I feel that's like the thing here, like, make sure that you don't quit. I think that like you might get desperate sometimes, or you might feel like you're not where you would like to be, but you have to just keep pushing because you're like about to get there. Or yeah.
Bam, son.
What part of that stood out to you?
It just feels like the entire thing, right? Like, so I definitely do agree about like, if that is per se like a representation of my relationship with Marlene. Yeah, we definitely do share a very deep connection, like even on a mental level, right? So like that's apparent to me, and the overall message feels like my inner dialogue as well. A lot of the time, because like I find myself, you know, essentially telling myself the things that you just said, where it's like, you're right there. I know you know that you're right there. You can fucking get to that where you want to be, but it's not easy. You know, like it is work. And I've always been of the idea, at least when it's come to being a producer of content, I suppose, that just keep your fucking head down and do whatever it is that you're trying to do. Because like at the end of the day, no one owes you anything, and you're only gonna get it by proving that you can externalize whatever vision you see in your mind. And it's coming together. I mean, look, we're fucking right here, right now, right?
I think we would have conversations about this pretty often about like, because oh my god, like throughout the, you know, last what 2-3 years at this point, 2 years of COVID going on, like in that time, and even before then, there was just a lot of conversation about like different podcasts coming up and them doing different things, and it was just kind of like, man, like where do we stand amongst like all these people doing all these different, you know, things, and I kind of would feel the same thing in terms of like comedy or whatever, but we always had this conversation. We'd always go back to like, the only thing we can do is just know that we do things well and just continue producing it. And it's cool. It's good. I think at this point, Josh and I are pretty experienced to the point where we like, if we get praise, like we don't let it go to our egos about anything. Like it's good to say like, oh, we're experienced in something that we know we do well, and we're going to continue doing it well, and we'll just see where it goes from there. And I never once thought that I would be, you know, doing this for money. It'd be cool to get a full-time, you know.
I mean, all of those things.
That's been the vision since the beginning, bro. That's what I'm telling you.
Remember that the Virgo thing is like you have to be tercos and persistent, and like you have to kind of like always, you know, keep the eye in the goal, kind of. So I feel like that's overall the energy of both of y'all. Kind of like I said, a lot of the times when people are
together.
they close. When they read
I
together.
mean, we sleep next to each other every night, so it makes sense.
There you go.
We have some pretty sexy pictures that we're gonna put up on Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right. I mean,
they might or might not be lingerie. Might or might not be.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure both of y'all girlfriends are like, I know.
100%. Yeah. There's a picture of me holding Josh, and he's doing the Titanic pose.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's important to have chemistry.
Exclusive Patreon content only.
Oh shit! There's a Patreon too.
Yes, patreon.com/AOTBcast.
Nice. Yeah. You see,
Sorry, we're plugging in the middle of this.
That is pretty cool. No, dude, I'm trying. Well, right now I work. I have a job, so I really can't focus on content creation because it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of your brain. And then I already work with computers, so I'm like, I don't want to be in the computer, or I don't want to be with my phone because I work with my phone. So it's just like it's hard, and I guess because there's so much content out there that you were saying, like how do we gonna stand out, or like how am I gonna make things different? I feel like the ultimate thing is, and I know it sounds kind of like cheesy, but it is like just staying true to yourself and like not trying to reach towards something that like feels out of your comfort zone or that feels wrong or like that feels like against your like I don't know that just doesn't feel right. I think that's how I go on vibes. Like that's how I go in life. Like I decided to live my life where like if something doesn't feel comfortable, I'm just like I am fucking with it. And like and that goes to jobs, people, you know, like anything. Yeah, like if clothes, like no, like
I don't like the way this feels.
Yeah, this ain't the fit. So but I feel like that's the thing that like I feel will make you because like at the end of the day there's only one of us and trying to model yourself like somebody like yeah it's good to have role models, you know, see people do shit, but I feel like finding like who you are and like, you know, being confident with it and like not being ashamed of anything about it like is really liberating. And I feel like that's like what like ultimately people want to see. I feel like there's already so many fabricated people out there that like what we really lack is like authenticity. So I feel like as long as you guys like stay like true to what you guys want to do, true to like the vision of the border, then you guys should be fine.
I 100% agree. And
You said what? True to the vision of what?
of like, you know, the aliens of the borders, like
Oh,
what
right,
what was what you guys wanted to like wanted the world to know about the border, because I feel like this area is almost looked down upon a lot, and the saddest part is looked down upon by the people that live here. And I feel like it's a lot of things, you know, the culture, the politics, the financial status, everything. There's a lot of bad things here, but I feel like there is a unique mixture of like Mexican American culture that you can only find at the border, and I feel like we're like unique to people from like, you know, San Antonio. Even though San Antonio, I love them, they get ratchet. I love them. They have a close. Yes, I love San Antonio. But like we have something like a very unique perspective, and I feel like people here, I don't know, they're like not, maybe they're not aware of it, or they want to deny it. Some people are ashamed of it, but I'm not. I'm just like, dude, I get to experience things that like nobody else is gonna experience, and here, like, so yeah, I feel like it, yeah, highlight that, and that's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
They just dropped a couple episodes, so.
Hey, Marlene. But yeah, Marlene's cool.
Shout out to fucking AD Creative Design Studios for
Hey guys,
putting
yeah,
together this amazing production that we.
No, yeah, you guys are killing it for sure. Okay.
For sure.
But
dude,
you're
I
done.
had something to add on to what you were saying, and I totally lost my fucking train of thought. Damn. I was like right in that vein of inspiration. Yeah, dude. Train of thought. Aliens on the border. We're
Yeah,
the
like
best
staying true to
podcast that
yourself.
exists in 956. I'm sorry, I'm claiming it. I'm kidding, but I'm also not. Also,
Official
patreon.com
podcast of
slash
956.
Hey.
95666 killers. No, I'm
Even
kidding.
that, dude, like the cuz, los
For real,
tacuaches,
dude, everybody.
I love them. I love my peoples.
God damn, dude, I'm really like reaching so hard in my mind to
Go back to the astrology thing, or
yeah, let's circle back around to that, and if I remember what I was gonna say, I'll fucking dump it in here. But yeah,
do you want
so
another drink?
Sure.
bang bang.
I don't work until noon. No.
Don't work until noon. So one of the other things that maybe we can dive into a little bit is the astrology portion of like
catch that?
mysticism and things like that. Like, how versed are you in it?
Well, I am not an astrologist. Thank you so much. I am an astrologist enthusiast. I know a lot of it. My books, not even books. I just read on Twitter. But there's a lot of like little tools out there like that you can use, like the pattern, the time passages, where it like, you know, give you your birth chart, because that's what you need for astrology. You need the birth chart, and then from there the different aspects. And it's weird. I feel that ultimately people have autonomy, so you cannot base off your actions because you're you know, a Scorpio. I was gonna say, you know, you're a Leo, whatever.
Or Sagittarius.
Like you really can't. Like some people would say that, like for example, Geminis have their like a two-faced reputation, but it's like no, it's not two-faced. It's like there's like a duality to them, you know, like and like a lot of people don't have the capacity to entertain thoughts in their mind, so they seem two-faced. And it's like, dude, you can look at things in all like aspects. So yeah, so I feel like people like it's a tool for like the same with the tarot. Like, you can be used as like a tool for self knowledge, like, you know, see what's happening with you. But I think that you have autonomy and you can choose how you're gonna be.
Act. Right?
Yeah, but I think that it does influence because for I know that like people go as like deep into your aspects affect your physical appearance. Like there's some aspects that are like, you know, for pretty people, some aspects for like very smart people, or some aspects are for like promiscuous people. De todo. But so yeah, like whenever I did my birth chart the first time and I read it, and I was like, this makes sense to me. This makes sense to me a lot. But there were a lot of things there that like were bad. Like, you know, it will highlight like your good qualities, but it's supposed to also highlight your bad quality, your bad tendencies more than qualities, tendencies. It goes back to accountability. Like, you don't have to be like that. You know, like for example, Libras are known to be cheaters. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you don't have to be a cheater. Like, you can choose to like not do something based off your sign. But yeah, I think that it's very interesting because, for example, you say you're a Leo moon, right?
Yeah.
Leo moon, yeah.
Cap rising Leo moon.
I had met so many Leo moons, like, and they're always like, I don't know, they love attention. They
You don't say.
They love to be.
This guy has a running joke that he thinks I'm cocky.
It's your Leo moon, dude. It's definitely, my boyfriend has a Leo moon, dude. Like, they're the most annoying.
I'm not though. Like,
Most annoying, cocky piece of shit.
Sorry, I have main character energy.
There's a lot of main character energy on Leo moons, for sure. And you know what? They're so entertaining too. I like them.
Some say they might even be funny. They've been accused of being funny every now and then.
Sounds.
They're very entertaining. Very entertaining.
The most accurate part is like where it's like biggest piece of shit.
I thought that was the Cancer rising or something, wasn't it?
I don't know. Whatever that is.
No, the Cancer rising. So, según your sun is how they see you.
Yeah.
Your moon is how you process emotions. Your rising is like your physical appearance and like the way you come out to the world.
Let me go back to mine because I know that.
The Mercury is the way you communicate.
I don't know any of them other than just the rising and the moon.
This is what I was told.
And Venus is supposed to be the way you deal with relationships.
Taurus moon, Taurus Venus, Gemini sun.
Está Marlene's like, dile.
Yeah. And I forgot your rising. Sad face.
Then Jess said Cancer rising.
Jess doesn't know. She's just fucking talking shit. But it's cool though. How much do you subscribe to any of those things?
Well, so you know what's funny is that like I didn't really get into any of this kind of stuff until like I started talking to my girlfriend. As a matter of fact, I can recall specifically the moment that I started. I was on my way back from getting my first vaccination shot, and I was on my way back. Because
he believes in the vaccine.
Oh,
and when I was on my way.
Science.
When I was on my way back, I was just chatting with her. At that time, we were just kind of talking, and she straight up asked me. She was like, "Hey, what time were you born at?" And I
oh
was
my
like,
God, no!
La tóxica question.
This is where the conversation's going.
And you know what?
That says that.
There's a joke like within the astrology like community is like, if he knows his birth time, he's been run through. Like, you know, like,
that's funny.
Yes. Well, so I'm pretty sure your girlfriend was like, yes.
Yeah, I had to ask my mom, and my mom was like, "Don't do it."
Yeah, no, dude, I made my suegra take out the fucking birth certificate. I was like,
quiero ver a qué horas nació.
My mom was like, "Why?" And I was like, dude, fucking be a wingman here, man. What the fuck?
Trying to get some
And
access.
so she told me, and then I told my girlfriend. My girlfriend gave me like the full birth chart, and I remember saving it. I don't know if I can pull it up right now, but yeah, it was. I just remember like the ones that she told me were like the more like important ones were just the sun, rising, and moon. Right?
Yeah, that's supposed to be like your face to the world, and then if you go into the other aspects of the planets, then it's like I said, like it goes into like Mercury, the way you communicate, Mars, the way you fight, have sex, passion, and Venus is the way you love, like the way you are in relationships. So yeah, like it varies.
Yeah, she was vetting me for sure.
And you know, I gotta say something. The fact that she asked for your birth times is that she probably did like you right away because
100%.
I didn't. Ya ves, Leo Moon right here, todo cocky. I didn't ask for I'd never asked for guys.
Like birth time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that's a new shirt, bro. What time were you born? That's it.
For real? I mean, I recently did
What time
mine with my boyfriends, like our birth chart compatibility. And then I was like, I don't want to read this. I don't want to read this.
But you read it.
Yeah, I read it. Of course. I couldn't start reading for like an hour. I was just like, and I paid $1 for the app to calculate our compatibility. Compatibility. And then I was just like, man, I'm glad I did not read this when we first started talking because I would have fucking empelotarme de volada. Yes, and it's like, dude, this is kind of wild. Like, this is kind of wild.
You would have like been super empelotada, like right out the gate?
Because it literally says como que we're gonna have children, all these things, and I was like, wait, no. I was just like,
yeah, that was a conversation that I think we had too. That I was just kind of like, I don't know if I believe in all those things all that much because I'm afraid that it like influences a little too much.
Yeah,
but if it says we're gonna have sex, then I believe in it.
I decided I was like, I'm not gonna have kids.
100%. If it's to my benefit, yeah, by all means. Yeah, no, it wasn't like that though. She was like, she asked me the questions and sent me the whole charts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, "Oh, we have the same."
Mira.
I think the question, "What time were you born at?" is the new like, "You want to fuck or what?" Like,
no, it's not that. It's
Cállate. Low key. She's like, I wanna see what the trauma this guy is carrying. So
fuck. I could have just told him that for free though. I just said like, hey,
but the birth time is better because like you have like a record.
Like, so from this point forward in time, you've been suffering.
A lot of trauma, but not trouble.
You haven't, but like I said, you haven't been ran through because you didn't know your birth.
That's a good way of putting it. I haven't been super emotionally broken.
Yeah. It goes to the point where it's like if he knows it, like block him. Like like somebody didn't want him.
How
discarded that motherfucker.
How'd you get into it? Like, how did you just start? I mean, was it just one day? I mean, you did mention that you had like dreams about it and that kind of stuff, but was it like a big learning curve that you had to like really get into?
Yeah, I feel like with the deck that I had, it had like the manual, so I read through it and practiced what I learned on the little manual. But I lost that deck when I moved. I lost all of it. I don't know what the fuck happened. The only card that I found from that deck was the Death card and the Hermit card. But so I kept those like in my mirror. So and so one day I was like, no, like I need to go because I stopped, right? Because I lost my deck. So I was like, no, I need to go back to this. And I just I don't know, like I find a lot of comfort through doing that. And because it goes like it's a preparation. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna read cards. Like I try to meditate. I try to like, have like conversations with myself before I do readings. Well, I mean, I'm drinking right now, but I try not to be drunk or like, under the influence or anything.
They don't call these spirits or nothing. Oh, that would be
like I did readings here in Cultura like last year, and people. So I was there for maybe 2 hours, and nobody stop by. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And I was about to go, and then I guess everybody got drunk, and then everybody wanted readings, but everybody was drunk. So I had people crying, I had people freaking out. This guy would like this girl, like I gave her a reading, and then she was just like she made this face like, and I was like, she's gonna punch me, like no pegar, like.
That's interesting. I never really thought that there would be like a bloopers reel for readings. Have you ever had anybody be like very upset or disagree with like the reading?
Yes. I had people tell me, like, I'll tell people something, and yeah, like sometimes it's not what you want to hear, dude. Like that's just life. And I had people come, like I had this girl once go get a reading from somebody else in regards of relationship, which I was like, bro,
Don't do that shit.
it's done, like it's done. And then she got this other person, and this other person was like, no, yes, this and that, and whatever, gave their names, everything. And this other person she also asked about like her relatives' health, and the person's like, no, they're gonna survive, blah blah blah. Like le dijo todo lo que, todo lo que quería.
Yeah.
And then none of them became true. And like, unfortunately, the person passed away. The guy never came back, and this person came back to me, and she was like, dude, like, I thought you were wrong. And it's not like, I don't think I'm anything special at the end of the day, but I feel like if you're asking, you want answers, you're gonna get them, and you have to be ready for the answers. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are scared of this, because they know their answers are gonna be like, you're gonna have to.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. Like I don't think I'm aware of my hard truths. I think not, and I'll just like knock on wood or whatever. But I've been through like the ringer. Like it's been rough. Like especially the last like 4 or 5 years. That's why I was just scared maybe of like more bad news. And that's a big fear of mine.
And that's I feel like a lot of people's thing. Like people usually think of like the worst, but like a lot of people is like, dude, why don't we think of like what if the best happens? And like why do we have to focus so much on like the negative things? I mean, negative things can happen either way. We have no control over things, so we do have control of our mind to a certain extent, right? Obviously. But I feel like we do. And so if we choose to focus on the bad, like it's not necessarily like, oh, you're going to manifest the bad. It's just like you set yourself failure. Like you don't believe something can happen, so you stop trying, so you don't. So I feel like, I think that through all of these tools, astrology, the tarot, spirituality, like you can find a lot of inner guidance. The thing is, like, am I gonna follow this guidance? Am I gonna put in the work? And that's where it gets tricky. But like, it's a process that everybody, at one point or another, you have to start. And in the tarot, that's represented as the Fool. So the Fool is the first card of the tarot. Let me show you guys the Fool. And it's shown as like in Spanish it's called el loco, because the Fool, the Fool kind of like dance to the beats of its own heart.
Escalera.
Buenas.
La bota. Las jaras.
I know my family at first would make fun of me, and like in la loteria would just like, my family had a hard time understanding it, but whatever. I didn't ask to be born. Here it is.
Facts.
I know. I was like, you are gonna accept what you got. Like that's it. So the Fool is like the first card, right? So it's like always like the beginning of a journey is always like kind of like, there's gonna be obstacles ahead, but you have to fucking do it, like because what is the alternative? Stay complacent and not do shit? No.
For some people that maybe, and there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you want.
A lot of the times people stay there because they're carrying other things. They're carrying like insecurity, like you said, like they're carrying trauma, or they're just not happy with themselves, and it really goes back to like, okay, me, I know what I want.
I don't know how much I buy into like the whole concept of like astrology or whatever, because it's like, okay, well, like what, like from where are you drawing these characteristics? Like, is there something in specific that?
You mean the stars?
Right.
The astro part of astrology?
No, dude, that's not how it works.
Well, it has. There's
I'm
like
playing,
a whole
I'm playing.
dictionary to it, like
Right.
that. Like everything means like something different.
So does that mean like if you're born under a specific set of stars, like you have predetermined characteristics
That's
based
with
on
the
what?
ascendant and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
as well, too.
like for example, I saw this thing on Twitter that
world
that
according
girl,
to
the
Twitter.
Emilio girl that got the super fit. She's like a TikTok person. She has a show on Hulu, the Emilio Show. I don't watch it. It's just I
I've
know
heard
that.
that it's horrible. I know which one you're talking about.
She's
like
a
a
TikTok,
reality
like
show, right?
she was a regular girl that got famous. But they were talking about her birth chart, and they were discussing this specific placement that a lot of famous people have, and it's like a placement that like means like fast fame or something like that. So yeah, I feel like there's definitely people who are fucking blessed, and the universe was just like, oh, okay, you deserve a good life, this life. And then there's us.
real.
You're gonna break some generational trauma, Liz.
Charlie
So
D'Amelio?
Charlie, yes. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I don't really like. Yeah, I don't like TikTok because I get very uncomfortable when people overshare. And there's a lot of oversharing there. So I'm like,
Dude, tell me about it. Not that long ago, I remember like I was scrolling, and it was just some girl doing this thing where she's just like the Macarena or whatever the fuck. I don't know what she's fucking doing. And then there's like whole like paragraphs of this girl just like, oh, my kid died. Here's
Fuck.
a dance.
It wasn't the Macarena. It was like some other song, but I saw something similar like that. That like, dude, like I just woke up and like, ooh, like I'm a morning person, so like I'm like I don't want to see like, maybe they find comfort sharing their trauma, like, but I'm just like.
Yeah, I don't want to knock it. But
I
Knock it,
paid
dude.
to share.
Knock it all you want.
I paid this guy for like a year and to share my trauma there, and I actually got something good out of it. So.
We have one question, and we're just kind of easing into the wrap now, right? Actually, our producer, our Mr. Director, Andrew asks, "What about karma? Where does that fall into this?" That's a Buddhist thing, no? Isn't that like not really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's karmic law.
I believe in consequences. More than like karma. I feel that like everything has a reaction. So, I think that if you're out here doing bad shit, well, guess what? Like,
it's gonna be reflected back. At
yeah,
you.
that's what you get. And I don't necessarily feel that like people like if something happened to you is bad karma. Like sometimes that's just life. Like shit happens.
I have heard that like karma isn't like a vessel for like justice so much as it is a reaction to what you're putting out into the world.
Exactly. I agree. I firmly agree on that because, dude, I have like done good things for people. Like I'm a people pleaser. I'm not a people pleaser anymore. I have to keep saying.
Past tense, you were.
I was a people pleaser. Now I don't give a fuck. But I struggle with that because there's a part of me that always wants to be like okay with. But then I'm just like, dude, no. Like I don't have the energy to do that. So why would I wanna like cultivate like for example a fake relationship with a friend or like if I don't feel it, I'm just playing with people and then it's gonna come bite me in the ass like. You never know how people are gonna react. So if you fuck with people, like expect the reaction. The reaction is gonna come on how you did it, like how you went about it.
Yeah.
I firmly believe in that. Because and then sometimes I'm like even then like some people do bad shit, but they're smart and they never get their karma. But like
we could get into a whole lot of shit like that, but it'll be a whole other episode
Yeah.
on its own. I think.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back. We might have to do some like special readings that you're more comfortable with later on down the road.
yeah.
Because I would like to hear like the future thing, but just we're kind of running short on time, and I know these guys gotta pack up too.
Sure.
Before we wrap up, Liz, take a look at that camera right over here. This one right here. This is you.
Hey.
Tell everybody how to find you and where to find you.
You can
Plug
find
anything you
me on Instagram, Aztec Queen Reads. I try to share as much as I can. You want to follow me on, like I said, on Twitter? I do talk a lot. I do talk a lot of shit. Sazi with 2 A's. Liz. So yeah, and you guys are gonna tag me, right? Of course.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool. Yeah, so
You
just
can find
follow
all this in
me.
the show notes too.
Right now, I'm not like very open for readings in case anybody wants to reading because of my job. I have weird hours, but yeah, like if they are interested, maybe we can schedule it. But down the road.
Do you still do those events at Los Olvidados?
Yeah, I'm trying to do well. It's because like, I'm working in a political campaign right now, so where I'm away from election, so there's no way I'm gonna have time for February. But I do want to go back in March for Coffee and Tarot because that's my baby.
Coffee and Tarot at Los Olvidados.
At Los Olvidados.
Shout out to Los Olvidados. They're always super ready to lend themselves to
Ricardo,
anything.
you know, I actually took a Muay Thai
I
class with him.
saw you posted that shit.
Fuck, oh, dude, I was like,
It's badass,
martial arts is something else,
It's
dude.
beautiful. It's
A
badass. I love
connection
it.
of body and mind that I was like,
I'm pending to start with that.
Ooh, join the fucking
hey,
club.
let me know.
I'm there. I go.
Yeah, like I went into the class and it was like great. So I feel like
It's really fun. It's really fun is one of the biggest things. And of course, as always, you guys know where the fuck to find us. At AOTBcast just on pretty much anything. Go to patreon.com/AOTBcast. Subscribe to our Patreon. Our first exclusive Patreon episode is out on there already. It's on audio only format for now. We're working on getting the video back up on there. We'll be back fairly soon. This Friday, Fourth Dimension Fridays is back in full effect. The Modern Warfare edition featuring possibly Franny Flowers, which we're hijacking as
we're kidnapping him.
We're kidnapping you, and we're drafting you into the cause. The mic drop tomorrow. If you're watching this right now, tomorrow Thursday at Cultura Beer Garden. Come and do some funnies and whatnot. I might be there. Roger will definitely be there.
Yeah, I'll be hosting tomorrow. Come and check that out. And also a big shout out to the men behind the
cameras.
The camera. That's Jason Littman and Andrew. And that'll be on our show notes too. You follow them at ADTV, or it's gonna be AD Creative Productions, I believe, right? So definitely look at that. It'll be in show notes. That's it for today. Thanks very much to Aztec Queen Liz.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. Really enjoyed it.
We'll catch y'all in the next one.
We love you, boo boo. Bye bye.
Bye.
Wait. Keep everything like the way you had it there.
I brought my Palo Santo, but I was like, I don't want to light it up in here because it's gonna smell.
Fucking.
Yes.
Put that there. And I kind of, is it cool to leave this here?
I should put the like.
You're still talking.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me fix my shirt. Okay.
Are we still live?